Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. Part 1, The Old Buccaneer. The old sea dog at the Admiral Benbow. Squire Trelawney, Dr. Livesey and the rest of these gentlemen have asked me to write down the whole particulars about Treasure Island, from the beginning to the end, keeping nothing back but the bearings of the island, and that only because there is still treasure not yet lifted. I take up my pen in the year of grace 1700 and go back to the time when my father kept the Admiral Benbow Inn and the brown old seaman with the sabre cut first took up his lodgings under our roof. I remember him as if it were yesterday as he came plodding to the inn door, his sea chest following behind him in a hand barrow, a tall, strong, heavy, nut-brown man, his tarry pigtails falling over the shoulder of his soiled blue coat, his hands rugged and scarred, with black broken nails and the sabre cut across one cheek, a dirty livid white. I remember him looking round the cover and whistling to himself as he did so, and then breaking out in the old sea song that he sang so often afterwards. 15 men on the dead man's chest, yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum, in the high old tottering voice that seemed to have been tuned and broken at the capstan bars. Then he rapped on the door with a bit of stick like a handspike that he carried, and when my father appeared, called roughly for a glass of rum. This, when it was brought to him, he drank slowly like a connoisseur, lingering on the taste, and still looking about him at the cliffs and up at our signboard. "This is a handy cove," he said at length, "and a pleasant situated grog shop. Much company, mate?" My father told him no, very little company, the more was the pity. "Well then," said he, "this is the berth for me. Here, you matey," he cried to the man who trundled the barrow. "Bring up alongside and help up my chest. I'll stay here a bit," he continued. "I'm a plain man. Rum and bacon and eggs is what I want, and let head up there for to watch ships off." "What you might call me? You might call me captain." "Oh, I see where you're at. There," and he threw down 3 or 4 gold pieces on the threshold. "You can tell me when I've worked through that," says he, looking as fierce as a commander. And indeed, bad as his clothes were, and coarsely as he spoke, he had none of the appearance of a man who sailed before the mast, but seemed like a mate or a skipper accustomed to be obeyed or to strike. The man who came with the barrow told us the mail had set him down the morning before at the Royal George, that he had inquired what inns there were along the coast, and hearing ours well spoken of, I suppose, and described as lonely, had chosen it from the others for his place of residence. And that was all we could learn of our guest.